a mad VAR call, a last-minute losing goal, a routine cup win. That's just a week in the life of Everton this week, and it's Spurs up next. I'm joined by Matt Jones for this week's edition of What's the Score. Matt, how's things?
Good, mate. We've just done a nice little tour of Birkenhead, haven't we? Trying to find somewhere to film. You know, we had a great idea to do it on both side with the city skyline in the background.
It was
too
noisy,
too wet, too noisy.
And yeah, if you want a quiet place for a coffee in Birkenhead, I think Coffee Aroma on Price Street is the only place to be.
It's lovely. Look at that. Look at the foam on that.
Delta.
Outstanding. I'm glad we've got back to coffees though after our descent into ale on Monday.
Yeah, things have levelled out after Watford, haven't they?
Yeah, if you're having a pint on Monday night, your week's only going one way, isn't it, really?
Let alone Monday afternoon.
That's true.
It's only going south.
Especially when the match is on Tuesday. You've got 2 days in a row there already. It's like, oh God.
Yeah, heavy stuff.
It's going to be one of them weeks.
Oh God, yeah. Every game feels like it's going to lurch from one bevying session to the next just to get through it.
Do it.
So quickly before, we won't talk about the Brighton game because we covered that in Blue Monday, so have a look at that, have a look back at that if you've not seen it. The Carabao Cup draw was today.
Yes.
I'm sure everyone was intently listening to the Time Warp on Radio 2 before they did the draw.
I was loving it. I was probably loving it.
I was in bits, it was too much that early in the morning.
I think Paddy was in our Blue Room WhatsApp group. He was particularly annoyed by it.
He was fuming about it. He hated it.
I think I can sort of, when there's a song like that, I can sort of appreciate this is really rubbish, but still enjoy it a little bit as well. I think I was very much in that sort of mode.
Had you been drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning?
No, not at all.
It did actually feel like a 90s Time Warp because they had Zoe Ball and David James talking, and it was like...
It was about cruises. Who was doing James McDonald or someone doing the cruises,
It was just like a 90s mashup. It was horrific. Anyway, on the back of that, we got Leicester away. Well, at home.
Sorry, yeah.
God, Leicester at home, which, given the way the draw was going, I was quite happy to get that, really, because the easy teams had gone, or the relatively easy teams anyway, and then it was Liverpool, Villa, us and Leicester left in the hat, and you thought this is only going one way. Thankfully it didn't, and we got a home draw.
Would you have taken Leicester at home before the draw?
Probably would have done,
yeah. I think I would have done as well.
So.
I sort of made peace with us. I would have said I would have been happy we got a home draw as long as it wasn't against Liverpool, although they probably play the kids. Then again, if they played us,
they wouldn't have played that team.
No. You know, as long as it's Liverpool and Manchester City, all things speaks to it. United at home, wouldn't have minded that so much.
I'd been fine. United away, wouldn't have minded.
Yeah, it's probably the same. But you know, like you said, I think when you listen to a draw like that, you sort of bargain into yourself, aren't you, all the way through? So you get to that point where there's 4 left, he's thinking, just not them.
Just one, don't want.
Not them at that point. But no, I think they're obviously having a great season, obviously Leicester. I think they're one of these teams who, when you speak to the fans and you read what you've got to say, it feels as though they should have done much better in the cup competitions in recent years. They haven't really taken it completely seriously. And you just wonder with them if they go into that game and they're still like the 3rd in the league, aren't they, currently? If they're actually in touch with the top 2 still, if they secured the Champions League place, how much is Rodgers going to put into that, especially at that point in the season where there's loads of games. Whereas I imagine for us, provided we are out of relegation trouble, you'd think we could put anything into it. But no, at home, if someone said to you at the start of the competition, you've got to beat Leicester City at home to get to the semi-finals, you'd be absolutely made up with that, wouldn't you? So fingers crossed they can do it, and it should be a good night at Goodison, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it's bang in the middle of that mad fixture list we've got, but as you say, that could weigh heavy more on Leicester's mind. I think we will put out a full team regardless of where we are. We need to, because we need to make progress in this competition and to get a home draw in the quarter-final. So like calling it cliche, that's all you can ask for, isn't it?
I think we've got United either before or after that game, haven't we, as well? And I don't know what you, but I hate it when that happens. You get a team in the cup and you play them in the league. A few days later, you're just sick of the sight of it.
I remember the one that springs to mind, Liverpool a few years back.
Played it 3 times in a week. Just by the end of it, it's like, oh my God.
2 times in a season's bad enough, not 3 times in a week.
Like, we got them in the semis. 4 times in a season.
So they can beat us 4 times in a season.
But no, we're in it, aren't we? I think it's hard to get excited about because December still feels miles off, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's a big run of games before we get to that. I think Paddy was saying on the weekly last night that we can just forget about that now. We're in it, the draw's been made, we know what's coming, concentrate on these games coming up.
Definitely.
The next of which, seamless, is Spurs at home. Now, Spurs haven't won away since January. This is well documented. Insert the time for Everton meme.
Are you going to do that?
I'll do that, yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, they've been pretty bad.
So I might just give you more work to do there.
It's all right. I like covering and pasting it together. Yeah, they've had a pretty bad season. The sort of, I don't like the term false position, but they really aren't in a position anywhere near where they should be. They should be challenging top 2.
Yeah.
They should comfortably be third with that team we've got. They come to Everton on the back of a pretty bad run. I think their form, they've won 1, drawn 1, lost 3 of the last 5. We've obviously won 1, lost 4. So form, it's pretty neither here nor there between us. How do you sort of see us setting up against them in this one? Because they've got a very, very strong midfield.
Yeah.
Think 2 in the middle will be enough for that?
No, I don't think so. I think all the evidence that we need that it's not enough is in the game last season, where Tottenham came to Gomes Park, which again I think was ruled out quite late on, and it's Davis and Gomes in midfield, and it was just, you think back to that game, the amount of times they were excellent on that day, to be fair. I remember walking away from that ground thinking they could actually challenge the title. Obviously it didn't materialise in the end, but the amount of those little one-touch passes they did through the middle and just got in ours at the back 4 constantly was ridiculous, really. And I think it's difficult for the manager, because I think everyone wants him to be positive and wants us to go and try and attack Spurs, especially at home. But I imagine that game will be in the back of his mind, like it's in the back of our mind, really, because it was a scathing day. It was a proper hammering, and Tottenham could have scored more goals. And yeah, I think it's going to be one of them where we're going to have to take a little bit of a backward step. I think we could see 4-3-3 for the first time. Whether that's Schneiderlin coming in and playing at the base of midfield, and you're not a fan at all.
No, I wouldn't go for that. But I could see the merits in doing it.
But I think if we're going to play 4-3-3, and you sort of have different ways of playing 4-3-3, then you can have the 1 in front of the 2 in midfield, where you have the sit-in and then 2 in front. I imagine it'd be more likely to go with the sit-in.
Yeah.
And then I think Delph is not really that player.
No.
I think he'd prefer to be in the 2 ahead, but Gomes and Davis are doing very well. So it wouldn't surprise me if he went Schneiderlin or Sigurdsson ahead, but I'm not entirely sure about that either. But it's going to be a tough one. But I will definitely stiffen that midfield up. I don't want to be in a situation again where we're watching Dele Alli, Ericsson and Son just charging through the middle of the pitch.
No, because it would just destroy us, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You think, especially if Reilly-James is out again. I think Holgate's done really well, but this would be a massive test for him. And Michael Keane just looks shaky all around when he's not by Reilly-James, especially. I think, given the choice of Sigurdsson in front or Schneiderlin behind, I would go Schneiderlin behind.
Yeah.
It sort of goes against everything I've said all season. But I think my biggest issue with him, he slows the play right down. But in this game, but in this game, I don't think. Sigurdsson does in another way, but I don't think it'd be such a bad thing, especially if Davis and Gomes are playing ahead of him.
Yeah.
Because they're more likely to hit the forward passes and get us up and running. If he plays Delph ahead, then I think that sort of really nullifies our midfield and it goes really defensive.
I think Delph's in a bit of a funny position at the moment, isn't he? It's just, I think everyone was dead impressed with him when he made that appearance against Wolves, and he was probably the best midfielder on the pitch that day, but he's not really kicked on since then, has he? And I suppose that's what happens when you get injuries all the time and the team's being changed. But I don't think he had the best game on Tuesday against Watford. Sort of struggled to put his imprint on it. I don't really know where he fits in at the moment in it all. I don't think he's a natural partner for Gomes. I don't think he's a natural partner for Davis. You're sort of looking at him and thinking that 4-3-3 would be best as one of the 2 box-to-box players, but we've probably got 2 better box-to-box players in Gomes and Davis, so a bit of a funny position for him at the moment.
Yeah, it is tricky to know where to put him, so I would like to see him lose out to Tom Davis, because I think on Tuesday night, although they were better second half, they were very pedestrian first half, and we did miss that sort of spark from Tom Davis, so it'd be nice to see him back in. At this point, I would normally show the last game from last season, but there's absolutely no way we are going through that 6-2 again. So I have dug out the last time we beat Spurs, which was 2-1, a very late 2-1 win in 2012. Here it is.
No, I remember a season where we used to score late goals and win games 1-0. I think it was Thomas Rosiński or maybe Andy Johnson time round there. We used to be quite good at that, but recently it's not been the case. Well, if Everton hadn't won, then we'd have been saying how not. We played terrifically well, especially in the first half with Kevin Morelos and Seamus Coleman. You know, the attacking play we had was terrific. We just didn't or couldn't find the final pass or the final finish to kill it off. Tottenham got better after 15 minutes into the second half. We had to defend 4 or 5 corners and free kicks. But I thought we'd grown into it again when they scored the goal. It's early to talk about that, but it doesn't shame. The position doesn't shame the way Everton have been playing, the way the players have been playing. It doesn't shame them at all. They've been playing that well. But you know, we could quite easily have slipped out, and before you know it, you could have been in the bottom half of the league. The Premier League is so tight that, yeah, it feels good today, but we've got to make sure.
I think the thing with that team is it had that intensity right until the end. There was a lot of games, sort of that sort of period where we would claw it back or even win it like we did there in the last few minutes. We need to get that back.
Yeah, I think Moyes' teams, there was always a sense of, there was just a bit of a, it was like an intangible thing where at the end of the games, if we were behind or we were 1-1, there would be so much pressure. And we did score a lot of late goals. You know, you look at that situation there in that game, and Clint Dempsey scored, deflected goal for Spurs in that one, and you know, it's 75 minutes and you're thinking, oh no, this is going to be one of them. You know, Tottenham have come and done a bit of a job on us, and we sort of, you know, lash Velios up front. He's doing mad overhead kicks in the box, you know, and all that sort of thing. But no, I think you're right. We don't really get that sense that when we're drawing or behind at home at the moment that, you know, it's come to a crescendo and something's going to happen and we're going to get back into the game. It's very much, if we're behind, we're done. You know, the numbers back that up, don't they? So I mean, hopefully we don't fall behind on Sunday. Yeah. But I think it's more starting games at the moment, especially against. It seems like everyone in the Premier League's got a really poor away record.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
And I think if you know, if a team comes to us like Spurs, like I said, I haven't won away since January. We can all do the Everton, you know, time for Everton meme sort of thing here, but they're going to be nervous and they're going to be anxious. And if we can unsettle them early on, all those doubts they've had over the last, the 11 months we're in, by the time we kick off at the weekend, you know, they're all going to come to the fore again. They're going to start doubting themselves. The fans are going to get anxious. The coach is going to get anxious on the sidelines, and it's a chance for us to assert ourselves. So. Yeah, good start is absolutely imperative on Sunday, which we seem to say every week.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? But we do need to sort of start with the intensity we did at West Ham. I think to go back to the Watford game, that was the thing that disappointed me most, how bad the first half was and how slow we looked. Yeah. We really didn't take the game to them, and you know, they're a terrible side. So we need to really start with that intensity we did against West Ham. Get a few shots in early, try and win a few early corners, see where we go from there. I'm absolutely staggered that we've not beaten them since then. Since 2012. I thought our record was better, but I think we've, up to 13 games, we've lost 7 and drawn 6. It's so it really doesn't make a good reading at all. Harry
Sherlock, who you can hear on the weekend preview show, told me that it's 10 wins in 60 Premier League games against Tottenham, so not the best at all. And when you consider the fact that, you know, for long spells of this Premier League era, there's not been much between the sides at all. There's been times where we've been better than them. They're obviously much better than us at the moment, but you know, it feels that they've sort of been there or thereabouts. Yeah. And for us to have such a bad record against them with that in mind is pretty terrible.
I remember a couple of defeats in the early 90s where we were like 2-1 up away, and they beat us 3-2. I think Darren Caskey scored in one. Just horrible flashbacks to games like
Marnie.
Yeah.
4-3 wasn't it that game?
Awful. Yeah. Just really bad flashbacks.
Did we lose 5-1? I think we lost 5-1 that day, didn't we? Remember Kaye scored right before our time and then just came out and battered us. That was the 4-5 season,
Yeah.
So even that team, even that hard working dogged team that never conceded many goals.
Did then. And you've got to say, was you a good ad in the season, aren't we? So, you know. the Spurs fortune's got to turn at some point. Where's you a good ad? So, without further ado, we'll move on to predictions. I asked a couple of the Blue Room regulars what they thought the score would be. Here's what they said.
Hey boys, absolutely gutted I didn't get to Watford earlier this week. I know it was a crappy first half, but pulled it round in the second and made up for Mason Holgate. I am going to say I'm going for a home win on Sunday against Spurs. Chuffed to say I'm going to the game, and I think it'll be Richarlison to score. Fingers crossed. See you at the ground.
The Blues host Tottenham at Goodison Park on Sunday. A real chance for Everton to put a marker down against a big side. Granted, Tottenham haven't had the best start to the season. They haven't hit the heights that they did last year, but they are able to cause damage to any team, as we've seen at Goodison Park over the years. I don't think Everton have enough to win the game this week. I think we have enough to score goals. We have enough to put pressure on teams. Tottenham aren't going to come and sit back. They're going to come and play their game, which might suit us a little bit. However, we look leaky at the best of times, so I can see the game involving a number of chances and a number of goals. So I'm going to go for 2-2, and I think the goals might come from an unlikely source, maybe the likes of Fabian Delph or Andre Gomes to get on the score sheet.
Some mixed results in there. I think that kind of highlights that we really don't know what way this one's going to go at all. I kind of reflect sort of what we think. So can you remember what your early week prediction was?
I do. So we're going to draw 2-2 and Richarlison's going to score.
Yeah.
Just think he's come back into a bit of form recently. You know,
yeah,
I don't think he played that well on Tuesday, but I think that goal will give him loads of confidence.
Yeah,
because I think I said, on the post match or the weekly that is what a Richarlison goal should look like. You know, he should be scoring those goals more frequently than he does. It doesn't feel like he scored a goal like that for a long time. So I think that goal will give him confidence. The way in which he got it will give him confidence. And I think he'll probably play up front at the weekend as well.
I think he's the best player we've got in that position. I know people are keen to see Kaye play there, but
it's that. I think that Tottenham defence is in an interesting position as well, because obviously people look at Alderweireld and Vertonghen, and they have been outstanding players for a while. Yeah. But I think this is sort of an issue Tottenham have got throughout the squad, but both of them have got contracts that were out in the summer, and I think that uncertainty about whether they're checked in or not, whether they're going to sign a new contract, has sort of inhibited the game a little bit, and they don't quite look as strong as they have done in recent years. So I think if he does play up front, or even if he plays on the left hand side, he'll cause them problems, and I think he'll be confident going into the game.
Well, that's a funny one with Spurs, because it's not a lack of quality players and it's not a lack of a quality manager. So there's definitely other factors at play there. And as you say, if these players are coming to the end of the contract and they're not really into signing a new one, or the thoughts are elsewhere, we've got to capitalise on things like that now. Rather than a bad run of form.
And I know that when you're in this sort of situation, people always say, well, you can't sack an entire squad. If you were Spurs, you would happily bin off a load of those players that the manager doesn't want, because the job he's done there is incredible. And I think he's definitely got enough faith in the bank to sort of say, I should be the one who provides stability here. These can all get like Eriksen Clay doesn't want to be. He was terrible against Liverpool on Sunday. Didn't want to run back at all. People like him. Danny Rose, I think, has checked out a little bit as well, but he's suspended for the game at the weekend, so he won't be involved. But just a lot of players there, I think, are a bit unsure about the future. But he's a great manager. He's a fantastic manager.
I'd have him all day, definitely. If you want to go with Matt's 2-2 draw and Richarlison to score, it was 25-1, but we got Fansboosted odds of 34-1. So if that comes in and you put a tenner on it, it'll get you 340 quid back, which isn't bad.
No,
I have gone nothing compared to mine, mate. I have gone gung ho and said 3-1 and Andre Gomes.
Oh, that's good.
Now, my thoughts, how I think it's going to go is I think it'll be 2-1 towards the end, dead nervy. We'll break away, we'll score a third. Sort of maybe that Richarlison goal towards the end. And we'll settle everyone down, and we'll all be happily going into Sunday night.
I'm surprised you said we're going to win, because you've been very negative this week on Twitter.
I hate them. I'm not going to lie, I can't stand them, and I was in a bad mood after that Watford game, I think, because the first half, and I said before, the first half, James Coleman getting back in, didn't see why he did that. Delph getting back in, didn't see really why he did that. I know you rotate players, but our game wasn't until Sunday. This was a very important game. Sort of stick with the team we've got. That's what I thought. I've since settled a bit since then, and I just I'm quite confident, which is never a good sign. But I can just see us like really taking it to the good. We've got to. I think, as we've said on a lot of the shows, the players don't seem to have given up on the manager. There hasn't been that drop off we saw with Koeman, we saw with Martinez. We're not at that stage. So if they can come out and make this count, I think we can have them.
I think the one worry I'd have, aside from the fact that they have got loads of really good players, is that I think for the first time in a while, Pochettino will have had a week to work with them on the training ground, because obviously they weren't in the cup where they've had the game against Liverpool, and then they've had 6 days effectively to get prepared for this. And I imagine for someone like him, who is such a good coach and such a good motivator, that he'll be cherishing that time, because they've had cup games, they've had Champions League games. you know, I think Tottenham are one of those sides you just think they must play every 2 days because he's just playing so many football matches.
Yeah,
but that could be a bit of a worry, and you know, there might be some heavy legs on our side from Wednesday. But you know, at home, you back us to start well, and hopefully get an early goal, and that's hopefully what should carry us through. But yeah, it's gonna be a tricky one, definitely.
Yeah. I think there'll be goals in it though.
Yeah.
I can't see it being 0-0.
Yeah, I think it was going to pick another score. I'd probably go Walcott. Loves a goal against Tottenham.
Yes,
scored in both games against them last season.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, true. Yeah, ex-Arsenal player.
Could be a Wobie as well.
Oh yeah, basically 3.
I've only done 2-2. I don't know how that's going to work.
What am I going to
There you go. Yeah.
If you want to put a bet on Andre Gomes scoring and Everton winning 3-1, that was 80-1. We got Fansboosted odds to 100-1. So a tenner on that gets you $1,000 back.
Come on, Andre.
So I might have to put that on. That'll pay for your stipend. So it's good for everyone.
It's 100 quid.
It's 5 bottles of Australia for €7, isn't it, over there?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Calls me dad anyway. Sent a picture. Well, he's not. Basically, my dad sent a picture of our stag do group of a board in Torremolinos, which has obviously got nothing to do with Lisbon. Yeah, nothing to do with Lisbon where we're going. But you know, he's clearly excited, which is nice. Which is nice. Yeah.
Yeah, if you anyway, if you want to put any of those bets on, go to fansbet.com. Remember, Fansboost bets, you can put a maximum stake of £25 on per bet, and do gamble responsibly. Go to fansbet.com as well to see the sort of work they do with other football clubs and fans to get 50% of all the profits to fan causes, so check that out as well. Anything to finish on?
I enjoyed Richarlison's English lessons last week.
Very good, yeah.
Really good.
They all need to be put on a banner.
Yeah,
I think someone put that out.
I live in Crosby.
I have a dog.
Yeah, I have a dog, yeah. I'm not going to mention the other one he said about living in the city centre.
He loves the nightlife, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, yeah. He seems to have acquainted himself well with some of the locals.
He definitely does. Yeah. And the locals like no other on here.
Loves the blues, yeah. Loves the blues, which is good.
And fingers crossed he will do the biz. We will be back next Monday maybe for a Blue Monday.
Yes.
Hopefully a celebratory one.
Not so Blue Monday.
Not so Blue Monday. Check out all your post-match and your usual stuff on the Blue Room, and we'll catch you next time.